Today we gather to reflect on the final words of that Word made flesh, the words of Jesus Christ, spoken not in His glory, but in His suffering, a testament that transcends time and echoes in the hearts of millions. Forgiveness in the face of agony. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Luke 23:34. In the midst of unimaginable pain, when His body was broken and His soul was poured out, Jesus offered not condemnation, but forgiveness. He spoke to the Father on behalf of those who sought His death. In this, He showed us the depth of divine love, a love that reaches out even in the darkest moments, offering grace instead of judgment. This act of forgiveness is a call to us all. It's a challenge to rise above our pain, to forgive those who wrong us, and to let go of bitterness. It is an invitation to experience freedom in the purest form, the freedom that only forgiveness can bring. Assurance of paradise. Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. Luke 23:43. Even on the cross, Jesus had time for a soul in need. The thief beside Him, convicted of his sins, reached out in faith, and Jesus responded with a promise of paradise. In this, we see a Savior who meets us where we are, no matter how far we have fallen. He offers us hope, not based on our past, but on our present faith in Him. This promise is a beacon of hope for all who feel unworthy, for those who think they are beyond redemption. Jesus' words assure us that no one is too lost to be found, no one is too broken to be healed, and no one is too sinful to be saved. Compassion for the bereaved. Woman, behold your son, behold your mother. John 19:26-27. Amidst His suffering, Jesus looked down from the cross and saw His mother, Mary. He entrusted her to the care of His beloved disciple John. In this moment, we see a Savior who, even in His final hours, cared deeply for the needs of those He loved. This act reminds us of our own responsibilities. It calls us to care for one another, to be present for our families, and to extend compassion to those in need. Jesus' words on the cross were not just for Mary and John, they were for all of us. They are a call to live in a community where love and care for each other are paramount. The weight of humanity's sin. My God, why have you forsaken me? Matthew 27:46. In this cry of anguish, we witness the profound mystery of the cross. Jesus, bearing the weight of the world's sin, experiences the separation from God that sin brings. It is a moment of deep sorrow, yet it is also a moment of profound love, a love that would go to any length to bring us back to God. This cry is a reminder of the cost of sin, but more importantly, it is a reminder of the love that would not leave us in our sin. It is a call to recognize the seriousness of our separation from God and to embrace the grace that Jesus offers to bridge that divide. Fulfillment of the mission, I thirst. John 19:28. These simple words speak to the humanity of Jesus. In His final moments, He experienced the same physical needs as any of us. But His thirst was more than physical. It was a thirst for the fulfillment of His mission, the completion of the work the Father had given Him. This is a call to us to recognize our own thirsts, not just physical or emotional, but spiritual. It is a reminder that true fulfillment comes not from this world, but from aligning our lives with God's purpose. Jesus' thirst on the cross invites us to seek living water, to find satisfaction not in temporary things, but in the eternal, the triumph of completion. It is finished. John 19:30. With these words, Jesus declared the completion of His earthly mission. The debt of sin was paid, the work of redemption accomplished. In this moment, we see the victory of God's plan, a victory that was not in the avoidance of death, but in the conquering of it. This declaration is a call to live in the freedom that Jesus has won for us. It is a reminder that no matter what we face, the battle is already won. We are invited to live not as victims, but as victors, sharing in the triumph of Christ. Surrender to the Father, Father. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Luke 23:46. Jesus' final words were words of surrender. After all the suffering, all the pain, he entrusted himself fully to the Father. In this, we see the ultimate act of faith, the ultimate expression of trust. This final word is a call to us all. It invites us to surrender our lives, our struggles, our fears, and our future into God's hands. It reminds us that true peace comes not from holding on, but from letting go of our fears, our doubts, and our need to control, and placing our lives in the hands of the one who loves us beyond measure. The echo of eternity. As we reflect on these final words of Jesus, we are not just hearing a story from the past. We are hearing a call to live differently, to live as people who are forgiven, people who forgive, people who care for one another, and people who trust in God's plan. Jesus' last words on the cross are words of eternity, spoken into time, meant to transform not just our hearts, but our lives. Let them echo in your soul, and let them guide your steps as you walk the path of faith, hope, and love.